No. See,
Sorry, Ricky, I just asked Dave to do that just because it might be useful. We might find a 5-second bit that we can stick on socials.
sure. Oh, lovely. So yeah, I've been working on a few kind of projects. The first one, which I'm going to show you, if you can see that, is let's go with that. Yeah, so this is like the tutorial I've been working from. It's all built in React, so it's not PHP, it's JavaScript, not WordPress. It's pulling data from Google Firebase, which is predominantly for like mobile applications for Android and iOS kind of databases. So basically, it's just like quick, quite instant, very fast, straight to the point kind of mobile application. All happens on the fly, etc. I don't know what else to say. But yeah, this is what I've been working on mostly. But the one kind of like I've been most working on is this one, which is ties in with the Granite 5 website. So this does fill in posts and the work custom post types from the Granite 5 site. I've just done it through up a design here. So these will click through to read the posts as well. It's a bit slower on Zoom. But again, we can look to use WordPress as a headless CMS. So WordPress controls like the back end, the databases, etc. And React can like do the pretty stuff, like present it instead of PHP.
That's awesome. That looks really good.
Work ones as well here. So these are all auto generated. So if you update one on the Granite 5 site, it'll automatically pull through here. So it uses the API, the WordPress REST API, to display them. React is all based on components as well, so you can reuse them. So everything you see here, so like the grid view button is a component, the list view is a component, the theme toggle button down there is a component as well.
Nice.
And then what I'm going to do, hopefully at some point, is just next time is do like a bog standard contact form in there as well. But yeah, that's what I've been working on.
So if you if we go down this route, so basically just for everyone else's benefit, the industry has been talking quite extensively, I guess, and probably over 2 years now, about headless CMS. And what that means is you use WordPress or any other content management system purely to author the content, so almost as your kind of data entry system. And then the front end, so the website that the public see, has absolutely no link or connection with WordPress whatsoever. And the benefits to that are, I guess ultimately you don't even have to keep plugins or the WordPress application up to date. You could just let them fall really behind, because actually the outside world doesn't get to see WordPress. With that in mind, presumably the digital marketing team in your React front end, you'd stick the Google Tag Manager container so they could still manage their analytics and their tracking and everything else in a normal way. What about stuff like meta descriptions, meta titles? Because that's probably just pulling out of Yoast. So
yeah, I think because WordPress has got its own API, so I guess that is, I've not looked that far into it as in Yoast and stuff, but I'm probably 100% sure that you'll be able to pull that out as well.
okay.
React is built for SEO in mind as well, so it does work with SEO just because it is JavaScript and that. But yeah, like I say, WordPress, you can pull out anything from it, like the advanced custom fields and all that as well. So look at
how
that.
about, so I guess, correct me if I'm wrong here, but my understanding is you wouldn't be able to use relevancy to do your advanced search. Would you have to rebuild that in React?
Yeah, probably. If you don't hook it into, if it hasn't got its API, if you can't use the API with it, because I think plugins You can be used with the WordPress API as well. I know advanced custom fields is. If you can, there's an option in there to say show in REST. So you can hide it completely, or you can like integrate it that way.
So in that case, David, do you think it's possible to continue using relevancy to do the back end processing? Would you do that? Would you pass it backwards and forwards?
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
I guess what we do with Trademark Eagle, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly that. You'd still be able to have a form in React that sends the search query, and that goes off to relevancy to do the kind of processing to get the results back. So yeah, I mean, if it's not already a built-in API in relevancy, then you'd be able to access it through WordPress, I imagine.
The good thing with WordPress as well, I know you can create a form in React, and then you can update a post from React to WordPress. You can do it the other way around as well.
Cool.
But yeah, no, it's good. There's so much more you can probably do with, like, it doesn't have to be WordPress either, does it? It could be anything.
Exactly. That's why when you showed me this, I kind of was blown away with actually how similar it is to what we're working with Entain, in that we are only looking after this kind of JavaScript front end, and somebody else is writing the back end in a historic ancient system. I forgot what it is now. I want to say COBOL, but not quite that old. But yeah, it's very, very similar. There's a lot of similarities between this and that project that we're all a little bit nervous about. Turns out you've got the skills we didn't even realize.
Where's the actual data stored? So that text, Good Enough College, is that stored in the...
It's a WordPress. That's so pulled through from WordPress, yeah.
So it's all pulled through live on the API. So when you say click on this button and show me this shit, it's going API, WordPress, give me what I need.
Yeah.
So how are
no, when you load the page, so it fetches it. It goes, this component needs this URL. And that URL will be to WordPress, and it will say, we need this, send it back, and then that's how it comes back.
So how are the images faster if they're not stored locally or in gold? I guess they could be for you, right? Yeah,
it all comes back as JSON as well. And the good thing React is React will only update what you ask it to update. So if this page will be cached, for example, but if you change the image on this Good Enough College thing, it'll only update that. It won't update the rest. So they're already there.
Okay. Cool.
So it's all base, yeah. It works on like a virtual DOM. So you've got the DOM for the website.
Oh, right.
So it's a fake one. So it updates the fake one quickly.
Don't you ever talk to me about virtual DOMs, because you're well out of my comfort zone there. This is awesome. I'm really chuffed. So do we still have to call you 90% front ender Ricky, or can we now call you 70% front ender?
Well, it's still,
I guess
it's a little back end, doesn't it, Ricky?
Little dabble in the back.
That's it.
I don't know. I've always, I do a lot of WordPress back stuff anyway, I think. So, and I have done for a while. I'm thinking probably it has come down a bit more back-endy now.
Okay.
But I know Alex worked on online driving school, whatever it was, and he used Vue.js, and that is an alternate to React as well. But React's more popular.
Okay. Is that? Do you know what market share? The market share is split between React and Vue.
No. I know that. I know React's the most popular framework, though. Statistics.
And what is it we're building Entain in? Isn't it something else? Isn't it Tailwind or something?
Tailwind, yeah.
Yeah, that's CSS. Yeah.
Okay.
React is how
JavaScript.
to read.
We've used Tailwind before. Tailwind's a bit just like Bootstrap.
Yeah.
Vue is apparently 0.9% and React is 4%. So yeah, React is 4 times bigger than Vue in that respect. But I've got no idea what the other 95% is. I don't know what the title of that. Would that be like JavaScript front ends? Because I can't believe there's what would you call them? A comparison of usage stats of React and Vue.
Yeah, they're React and frameworks or libraries. Sorry. Yeah, React's the popular. There's jQuery, which we've used before. Like that's quite old now. We use that probably on the older sites, maybe sometimes the newer ones as well. Angular is quite old now. But yeah, React was built by Facebook, so and it's used on Facebook.
Okay. Fair enough. James, Vanita, have you got any awkward questions you can think of? Try really hard. This is your chance to make your mate look silly.
I look silly as soon as I signed in.
Go on, James, you must have something.
No, it'd be interesting to hear what Ricky thought of Tailwind, if that's what you've used on CSS on this.
Tailwind. I've only ever used it on a couple of projects, but I kind of like doing it from scratch, really. I think it's quicker. I think it's bloated still. You have to do a lot of overriding and things like that. But I've only ever seen it on one or two projects here, I think, because Alex really liked it, our previous dev.
So what CSS have you used here? Just your own?
This is just my own, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you say quicker to use your own than a framework, because I would have thought that you'd have used Bootstrap or Tailwind or something, or Material.
Yeah, with the base theme, the most we use is Bootstrap, I think. I only use the bootstrappy parts for like the grid layouts and the media queries and things like that.
Okay.
They come pre-built with like a card layout and a carousel layout and stuff, but it just seems a bit too much code to do what you need.
Okay.
You can do it much simpler, I think.
Fair enough. Vanita?
So, like, I just want to know that whole the script when you are writing, you are fetching the data from the React and through the API, and then display whatever in the loop or in a content. So the HTML you have write it for that, and then put it your content.
It's very similar. React uses JSX, which looks very similar to HTML. Because it's JavaScript, it's written slightly differently, but it's called JSX. It looks very similar to HTML. You might just need to use a few more uppercases or camel cases for like class name, things like that. But it's easy to pick up because it looks like HTML pretty much.
Yeah, React is good because it's really, it speed up the data. It's fetch easily. It can display. They didn't takes too much loading time when they are fetching and display the data on the website.
Yeah.
And still the optimization is really good with the React.
Yeah, because if you think if you go on a normal WordPress page, it will send so many requests to get images and things like that. But React is only sending the one to get all the content back from WordPress. So it's only doing that one request, maybe 2 or 3 at max, I would have thought. That's why it's lightning quick.
Am I right in thinking that there'd be good like security benefits of this as well then?
Exactly.
Yeah, well, like Christian said, there's nothing you can't like connect into it. You can't go into the database because it's not connecting into the database, is it?
Yeah.
But yeah, that previous site I was showing you was using Firebase, so I don't know if it's worth Granite 5 just having a look at that. That's a Google Firebase. I think it's mostly for Android and web apps, but I don't know if it might handle websites. I'm not sure, but might be worth it as an alternate to AWS as well.
Do you face any limitation while you are developing this?
Sorry?
Do you face any limitations while you are developing this? When we are go through with the HTML and CSS part, then there are a lot of things we get. But with React, do you think something like that?
Not yet, because I've only done a simple thing at the moment. I mean, like this is using, I put Sass on it as well, so it can use Sass as normal. Like it's pretty much like everything apart from the display, the JavaScript. Like you can use CSS, JSX, Sass, Tailwind if you wanted to use Tailwind as well. But when it comes to like the complicated stuff, that's when hopefully I'm gonna like run into some like trouble and then just hopefully debug it and stuff like that.
In the past, I found things like when you come to do pagination or search, return search results and things, that they were complicated, but if we did it once and it was just in a base theme, you know,
Yeah.
And like filters for categories and things, then we've got it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I said the next thing I want to try and do is just do a basic contact form, or we'll send an email somewhere. Like the simple things really. But this has got something called React routing on it, which gives it the navigation. So obviously navigation in JavaScript is quite hard, but they have hooks in there, like use state and use fetch. Use fetch is how you like fetch the API URL. But yeah, it's worth looking at. I've enjoyed it. It's been a challenge, but like it's been good.
Can I just ask a question? You said something earlier which I've heard mentioned lots of times, but I really don't have a clue what it is. Virtual DOM. How would you explain what is virtual DOM? So
you got the DOM of a normal website. So if you inspect it, you can see like the body, HTML, all the divs, things like that.
Okay.
So what React does, it creates its own one, a copy of it. So if you do update a website, it only updates the virtual one because that's quicker than the normal DOM. So that's why it loads more instantly. It only loads or displays the things it needs to display. It won't re-render the page, only the component.
You're talking such gobbledygook. I haven't a clue. Steve, you picked up with this?
I'll put a quiz together.
Steve's gone. Well, I just went to ChatGPT and said, give me 5 questions, awkward questions you'd ask a React expert.
Oi, come on.
And do you know why we need to transpile React code?
What?
Transpile, it says.
Transpile? I've not got that far.
Well, you know React is written with JSX, right?
As I said earlier, yeah.
And have you used Babel?
Not for this one, but it's in the pipeline, yeah.
Excellent.
That previous one as well, that shop one, that one of the tutorials coming up is integrating Stripe. Well, it's the next one.
Okay.
Stripe payment.
Cool. I guess I'll stop dicking around now. But next question: when do you feel? Well, of our current sites that we're working on, is there anything that you kind of feel like we've missed an opportunity and we should have used this already? SMA or location HQ?
I can think of one already. What was the website where they came to us to get their website hard coded so it couldn't be hacked and then went back to WordPress because they wanted to edit it? It was that kind of military drone.
Malloy Aeronautics.
Yeah, so this would be perfect for that.
Yeah, I said to David though, at the moment, obviously, because I'm still in like the learning kind of phase, I wouldn't be comfortable taking on, right, there you go, build that in React, unless you give me 1,000 hours to do it.
But at the same time, if someone in sales had someone come to us talking about a React website they wanted some updates to do, it wouldn't be something completely starting from scratch new, so it's still useful for us to know.
Yeah,
you kind of got some skills under your belt, and at least also you got that passion and interest as well. That's always useful to know.
Yeah.
James and Benita, do you have any experience of React or Vue?
Me, no. Little bits of
No.
Yeah. Ricky's got more than me.
Okay.
It seems like 2.5 years ago, I get a project where I need to work with the React. So I learned about the React and then the project is disputed or something else. So I didn't get a chance to work on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
JSX sort of made sense to me, like what Ricky said. It is just like HTML, and as long as you close your tags, and it's quite helpful with the errors as well. So if you do forget to close something, or if you get your camel case wrong, it corrects you, doesn't it? So
yeah, it's quite good like that. There's just like tutorials and stuff like that.
Yeah,
They're quite easy to follow.
It's quite logical with all the components and partials and things, so you can easily drop parts from, say, if you built a nav in one project, you can drop it into another a lot easier than we can do with a PHP WordPress theme. Sort of separate components, aren't they?
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. Like component wise, and it's easier to follow in the code as well. Like they're all separated.
It's also quite good that all the node packages out there. So you've got you can install ones for GA for analytics, so you could just upgrade analytics without changing snippets and things like that. There's probably HubSpot, React add-ons, and maybe contact forms. Yeah,
be great. Yeah,
Yeah.
So I just need that. I'd like that project probably just to be like, oh, let's just try this in React or something, you know, let's invest in the hours. But this at the moment, I'm still in that learning phase, so study phase, I say.
That'd be quite good, like if you could, because you could build a React contact form that would just stick on a website or something, and see if there's a HubSpot something you can do with it, or that sort out our HubSpot embed code issue that we've got on quite a few sites at the moment.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That would be a good internal project.
Yeah. I'm waiting for Christian's next question. He looks like he's
He's
brewing
looking,
up
he's
one.
Googling.
Yeah, I know.
No, I was just going to say thank you and well done. That was really useful. The reason I felt like that went really well, and actually I'd love for you to get more involved in things like WordPress, WordPress camp and local WordPress meetups and shit. And your presentation to us just then is the first time you've probably ever done anything like that, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So I think you've done an awesome job. So yeah, well done. Thanks for sharing. And yeah, kind of keep on top of keep sharing what you're working on, because genuinely, like David said, if you've got an interest and a passion here, we can find you R&D time to work on projects, or you know, we can speak to Simon and kind of get more of this woven into kind of conversations we're having with clients. So for example, saying to a client, you know, we really want to do it this way, but it would be our first project, you know, so maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I reckon we can find some more R&D time on a smaller project, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, even if it's just like a signing in area or something, you know.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, see, it might be. I mean, would it be completely crazy to use it for like a homepage or specific key SEO landing pages, for example, where the performance was, you know, really critical?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
I think something like the journals that we put on the front page of Febs, something like that would be quite good. Because you could serve up, I could have served up like the API bit and cached it within WordPress, and then on the front end you could have done the React part and displayed them or something like that. Or
yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah,
I think it's just keeping an eye out, isn't it? I say, no, let's try this in a slightly different way to what we used to.
Cool. Exciting times. Anything to add, David?
No, I don't think so. Just yeah, really impressed, Ricky. That was a really good, clear presentation and stuff you've been doing. I didn't realize that you were doing something so advanced. Like, blew me away when you showed me what you were doing. That's just really cool. Really cool.
Yeah, well, wasn't just sitting there looking at some more CSS selectors. Yeah.
So I mean, like your example of where you're pulling stuff from the Granite 5 site, if we styled that to look exactly like the Granite 5 site, obviously it's more secure, less hackable, but are we saying it would also be faster?
I think so. Yeah, I think that was one of my next kind of things, was maybe style a web page to look like a site we've already got, probably a Granite, like say maybe the news page. Yeah, I think that would probably be my next step, and then obviously compare it that way.
I was going to say it'd be really good to benchmark the two against each other. Actually, that'd be really good.
Yeah.
Cool. That's it for me.
Nice one. Cheers all. Pat, any questions? Steve?
I think we've lost Pat.
Pat got bored.
Oh yeah, house lights is too much for me.
No, nothing for me. I'd just I'd like to find kind of the next project and be able to kind of put it out before we get to a design stage, and see if there's something that we can actually use to get you implementing it on something that we can roll out, because I think it's definitely worth doing something with now you've got this far.
Yeah, it'd be good to keep the momentum going, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice one. Cheers,
Thank
team.
Cool. Nice.
later.
Cheers, Ricky.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Well done, mate.
Well done, Ricky.
Thank you.
It's really awesome.